Hello everyone, I think you can hear me alright, and hopefully you can see this. So, over my lifetime I've gotten a few comics. This was all when I was younger, but today we're going to be talking about the Marvel Saga. I hope you can see this, and I hope you can see it well enough that you can read the tiny, tiny print. If not, I'll read through some of the interesting ones. Let's go through it together. An evil aborning the origin of Doctor Doom, plus the amazing origin of Submariner and Atlantis, the awesome conclusion to the origin of Spider-Man, which we all know, plus X-Men, Fantastic Four, Hulk, and more, it says. But we're going to be starting with Namor. The new team of superheroes called the Fantastic Four had only existed a short time when one of its members, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, quit the group after feuding with his teammates. Hiding out in a New York City flophouse, Johnny there discovered Prince Namor, the Submariner of the undersea kingdom of Atlantis, who had not been seen for years. Namor was suffering from amnesia, but Johnny succeeded in restoring his memory. Namor swam off to find his people as Johnny waited eagerly on a Manhattan pier for his return, expecting to be thanked. Instead, the horrified Johnny learned that he had unleashed one of the greatest threats mankind would ever know. "You young fool! By returning my memory, you have signed the death warrant of the human race." What are you talking about? "Revenge. I'm talking about the revenge I shall have for the destruction of my undersea kingdom. I am the mightiest living mortal on Earth, and now mankind shall feel that might as it is turned against you all." So if you don't know who Namor is, I've always imagined Namor as Zachary Quinto's Spock character. If you've ever seen Zachary Quinto's Spock, and if you don't know who he is, he played Sylar as well from Heroes. When I saw Sylar and I saw Spock, that was Namor to me. So I think Zachary Quinto would be the best actor. Namor had discovered that Atlantis had been destroyed and its people had vanished. Still unable to remember the true cause of this disaster, which we will soon learn, the enraged Namor leapt to the conclusion that the surface people had caused it with their nuclear weapons. But how did a humanoid race come to live beneath the sea? To answer that question, we must go back over 20,000 years ago to when Atlantis was a continent above the ocean, populated by air-breathing humans. I love this picture with like the tiger and this guy with the armor. It's so cool. Atlantis first entered into legend when one of the barbarians living there, who took the tiger as his totem, won the throne of a mighty civilized nation, which he defended against both natural and supernatural threats. During the 500 years after this man's reign, Atlantis rose to become the greatest and most advanced nation of its day. But the Deviants, a misshapen offshoot of humanity, eventually conquered the entire known world except for Atlantis, finally using enslaved humans from the land called Lemuria as soldiers. The Deviants launched their attack on Atlantis. King Camus of Atlantis and his wife, Queen Zartra, were forced to unleash torrents of flaming magma from beneath Atlantis to stop the oncoming invaders. Meanwhile, the Deviants dared to attack the starship of their creators, the Celestials, who had returned to observe Earth. The Celestials retaliated with a weapon of immense power, utterly defeating the Deviants. The combined result of Camus' desperate action and the Celestials' weapon was the great cataclysm that devastated the Earth. The continent of Atlantis sank beneath the waves. Many centuries later, Atlantis' ruins were discovered by members of the water-breathing subspecies of humanity called Homo Mermanus. Mermanus, really? Whose origins are as yet unknown. The spirits of Camus and Zartra appeared to a young prince from this race, who was also named Camus, and instructed him to build a new Atlantean nation upon the site of their own. This is also, I love the art here. These art panels are just, they're incredible. Within the last 2 centuries, for unknown reasons, the Atlantean Emperor Thakor has led his people from Atlantis' original site in the Northern Ocean to a location off the coast of Antarctica, where they built a glorious new homeland. Then in 1920, an Arctic expedition set off explosive charges to break up icebergs, thereby unwittingly wreaking havoc with the Atlanteans building beneath them. Oh, look at that. Depth charges in place. As soon as the men are safely on board, commence firing. And then, It's like the G.I. Joe City Under the Ice, which is pretty cool, but that'd be so much destruction. That's terrible. Thus began the chain of events that led to the birth of Prince Namor, the Submariner. So, puzzled by the severity of the blast, Thakor sent for his daughter, Princess Fen, and sent her to investigate a strange explosion, but at an aerial twist, she falls in love and gets married. Weeks later, concerned by the absence of his daughter, she just eloped with a human and didn't say anything. And then the result of this tragic marriage, a son was born under the grieving princess, new breed of undersea man able to breathe both air and water. This was the Prince Namor, the Submariner, possibly the first known mutant of our time. Noble, powerful, dedicated, the only true amphibian on Earth. He's an amphibian, wow, okay. So Namor clashed with two humans in diving suits, believing them to be advanced scouts, and then Namor fought humanity because of that. He possessed great powers. As a hybrid, he could breathe air and water, possessed of human strength, the ability to fly. One of the only ones able to do so is the original android Human Torch. And then a brave policewoman, Betty Dean. They convinced Namor that the true enemies were the Nazis. So together with Captain America, Bucky, and Toro, and the Flame, I guess? I don't know. Or is that supposed to be Toro? I don't know who Toro is, but they look identical. Part of the All-Winners squad. Interesting. Namor eventually left the surface affairs of the humans to devote himself entirely to Atlantis. And there, Thakor still ruled with Namor's mother, the still youthful Princess Fen, by his side. There's a few characters here, and then earthquakes happened. Earthquakes, and Namor's trying to investigate. There was a source of the blast in caves. There was no accident, and there within the cave, the Submariner met the man who would be solely responsible for the destruction of Atlantis, Paul Destin, who called himself Destiny. Ha! My helmet of power did its work well, did it not? For I but tested its awesome might by assaulting Atlantis from afar. Atlantis, that sunken empire which I did locate with sheer psychic prowess. And then tested, you slaughtered my warriors, leveled much of my homeland for a mere trial. As exalted Neptune is my witness, you shall pay for such monumental villainy. I think not, my dear Namor. Using the helmet's power, Destiny easily overpowered Namor and held him helpless. This fool is my ultimate power. And then the sadistic Destiny completed his unholy work, the destruction of Atlantis. Many Atlanteans escaped the slaughter, but not Namor's mother and grandfather. And Destiny used his mystical powers to let the helpless Namor see a vision of Fen and Thakor's death. With Atlantis in ruins, Destiny met out a special fate to Namor himself for daring to oppose him. They must die, Namor, but you shall live, for I have plans in mind, plans for your future. His evil work done, Destiny returned to the state of suspended animation from which he had earlier emerged. One day he would return and battle Namor in the course of an attempt to seize control of the United States. Many hours later, his memory now totally gone, the exhausted Submariner arrived in New York City, and then, after years, was discovered by the Human Torch. Now, after swearing vengeance on humanity, Namor leaves Johnny alone on the pier. Grimly, Johnny uses his flare gun. That's a grim flare gun. To signal the other members of the Fantastic Four. Reed Richards, who uses his stretching powers as Mr. Fantastic, yeah we know, Johnny's sister Sue, the Invisible Girl, and Ben Grimm, the Misshapen Thing. Far beneath the sea, Namor finds the means of his vengeance, the mystical horn of Proteus, from which he can command monsters of the deep whose existence humanity does not even suspect. There he is, still slumbering, as he has done for ages, the largest living thing in the world, the deadly Giganto. Only one thing can arouse him. Really? Okay. This trumpet's horn, which my ancestors buried here centuries ago. Oh, it's so cool. It's like the dragon horn from Game of Thrones. Giganto comes ashore at Manhattan, wreaking incredible destruction. The armed forces are unable to stop the monster, Anything that could destroy Giganto would wipe out New York City and its terrified populace as well. Oh, look at that. It is the Thing who finds a solution. He will place an enormous bomb in Giganto's throat, and the explosion will kill the sea creature, but be contained within its own body. So when he falls asleep, they went in through his mouth, and so the Thing undertakes an incredible journey inside the body of the largest creature that ever lived on Earth, knowing that each step he takes could be his last. But luck is with Ben Grimm. Giganto does not wake up, and never will again. And then he runs out of there. They have a little boom for a nuke. And then the monster's dead. Then Sue invisibly makes off with the Horn of Proteus, but Namor stops her. When she regains visibility, is more than pleased to have done so. What? Really? I forgot about this. You're the loveliest human I've ever seen. If you will be my bride, then I might show mercy to the rest of your pitiful race. I forgot about this. How can I make such a choice? What do you mean, how can you make such a choice? Make it, Sue. Save the rest. Save humanity. But Sue, okay. Sue has no choice to make, after all, because when the other members of the Fantastic Four arrive and challenge him, Namor delivers his ultimatum. Now I'll have the girl and my revenge. The next time I blow the horn, I shall unleash a horde of undersea monsters, such as mankind has never dreamt of. Sue tries to make Namor see reason, but the Submariner is now lost within his fantasies of vengeance. He means it. Don't you realize what an honor I can offer you? You can become the bride of the Submariner, co-ruler of Earth. Nice one. The three male teammates attack Submariner together, but his strength makes him more for all three of them. And of course, Sue just, I guess, sits back and watches. I don't know what the... Anyways, Johnny had idolized the Submariner. Oh yeah, and then they fight, and then they shoot him up in a vortex, dump him in the sea. Horn of Proteus is vortexed away. And I'll get you next time. And now to New Mexico. Okay. Just realized I might have been cutting off a little bit of the comic. I have to zoom in enough that you can see this tiny print, but I also want to make sure that you can see the whole thing. So anyways, now to New Mexico. They're mentioning the Hulk, deep within caves. Banner's constructed a room. Oh, so it's Banner. So Banner's constructing a prison for himself. There, we've checked and it works. Now it's up to you, Rick. Each day at twilight, you've got to lock me in there, and I'll release you every morning. Don't worry, Doc, I'll never let you down. But Banner and Jones are not safe from a totally unexpected threat, that of the alien Tribites, also known by the nickname of Toad Men, who are launching their invasion of Earth. You not struggle, and you will not be injured, yet they are powerless against our magnetic ray guns. Alright, sure, magnetic ray guns just lift up people. Okay. Oh, this is a cool one as well. Tribite warships appear over many of Earth's cities. Governments try to keep the invasion secret, as the United States government has successfully done weeks before with the Skrull menace. But rumors about the alien presence nevertheless sweep the globe. And then, of course, Hulk smash. And Hulk used to be like a werewolf thing, or like a Jekyll and Hyde thing where he came out at night. This is an older Hulk. And then Hulk is going to Ross's home, you know, General Ross, the evil one, and then finds his daughter. What is going on here? And then Hulk is having like a conversation being like, look what you've done to me. Wow, okay, that's interesting. For the first time, the Hulk had found the thoughts and words to declare his hatred for the entire human race. Fortunately, before Betty can be harmed, Rick Jones arrived and distracted the Hulk, who as soon as the sun rises, changes back to Banner out of Betty's sight. Betty realizes that the Toadmen must be stopped now before the invasion. Gigantic gamma radiation projector that he had invented. I don't know how, but yeah, comic book. They're all dead. Yay, and then Hulk's there. And then we're going to be moving on to Fantastic Four here. Fantastic Four, heed my words. This is Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom? Who? What is he? That voice, I recognize it, but I thought he was dead. Dr. Doom, my actual favorite. Dr. Doom, the last that Reed Richards had heard of the man who now bears the name, was that he had left alone to travel into Tibet. He had never returned, and Richards assumed that he was dead. But there is a great deal that Richards does not know at this time about the man called Doom. Alright, this is probably my favorite one, is Doom's origin story. Doom's story begins years before in a small gypsy camp in the tiny kingdom of Latvia. I thought it was Latvia. That was Latvia. Anyways, in the Balkan Alps, Victor von Doom was the young son of Werner von Doom, a gypsy, and his wife Cynthia. who was killed when Victor was still an infant. One day, the minions of a ruthless Latverian noble came for Werner von Doom. But I guess the mother died. Mother died, Victor's dad was the doctor. Victor's dad couldn't save someone. Wrapping his own threadbare garments around the shivering boy, the desperate gypsy plods through the night, miraculously evading his pursuers. Then Von Doom is found. Then heed my last words. You must protect my father. None will have to protect me. I shall become powerful, strong, and avenge your death. He did not mean protect the boy. He meant that the world must be protected from the son who bears the name Von Doom. They murdered my mother when I was an infant, and now they have slain my father. They'll pay for that. All of mankind shall pay. We never told him that his mother was a mystic sorceress, and her blood runs in his own veins. I pray he never learns of his dark heritage. Boris's hopes were in vain. The death of his father set young Victor Von Doom on the path he was to follow for the rest of his life, the pursuit of power and vengeance upon humanity. He would seek to master the world that had mastered his parents, and it was only a matter of time before he surmised what his mother truly was. While Valeria watched, concerned over Victor's obsession with his parents' death, Victor found a chest that belonged to his mother. Wait, this chest, these strange objects, they bear the name of Cynthia Von Doom, yet they're artifacts of magic and sorcery. Then it's true? The stories quickly silenced? My mother was a witch. Of course, the people hereabouts are stupid and superstitious. They fear us because we are gypsies. How much more they would have feared the witch, as they shall come to fear me. Oh, and of course, there was a girl there trying to keep him from his dark path, as there always is in these. Von Doom's quest for knowledge eventually led him to a state university in America, where the first man he met there would prove to be his greatest intellectual rival and most frequent nemesis. So Doom and Richards meet and are science rivals. Science rival, experiment. No, you shouldn't do that. If he does that, he'll regret it. Silence, just throw the switch, boom, and then he's covered in bandages, and that's the Dr. Doom. Bandaged. How badly was he disfigured by the explosion? Another man would have been relieved that he had been scarred so little, but Von Doom was a man who believed he had been perfect. To his mind, his face had been absolutely destroyed, and he could not bear the sight of it. Oh no, I'm ugly. Smash, smash, and then... This is the cool part. So he left. He took himself to the remote vastness of Tibet, seeking forbidden secrets of black magic and sorcery. Because as we all know, Tibet is the source of black magic. Finally, he was taken in by a mysterious order of monks who had dwelled in a lost mountain cave for centuries. And there he stayed, month after month, learning their ancient secrets and lore until the day came when they addressed him as Master. All is in readiness for you. And then it began, using the mouth of a gigantic idol as a makeshift blast furnace. The tragic, ill-starred gypsy began to forge what was soon to be the most dreaded costume on the face of the earth. More heat. Fire the furnace. Do you hear? I must have more heat. Eventually the task was completed. Let us know if it pains you, Master. Pain? That is for lesser men. What can pain mean to Victor Von Doom? And now it is time for the mask. The mask. It is not completely cooled yet. Say no more, my brother. He will tolerate no further delay. Such a man cannot wait as others can. Now wrapped up in his own fantasies of power, impatient to assume the new role in the world, Von Doom blinded himself to the fact that the heated mask would harm his face far worse than the explosion had. Never again will mortal eyes gaze upon the hideous countenance of Victor Von Doom. From this moment on, there is no Victor Von Doom. He has vanished, along with the handsome face that he once possessed. Sorry, that made me laugh. This is supposed to be epic and everything, but that made me laugh. His vainness. In his place is now Dr. Doom. I love that. In agony, Doom fled outside the cave to extinguish his pain in the cooling snow outside. Now Von Doom's face must truly have been the horror he claimed it to be, but at the moment he did not seem to care. He was Dr. Doom now, a man who considered himself above human weakness, a man who was determined to rule the world. Silence! No man may question doom for any reason. Fetch the rest of my garments. The time has come for me to leave this place, this lost plateau. The time has come for me to assume my rightful place in the world as its absolute master. He's setting his sights pretty short there. Master of the world. When you see true Doom with like the gauntlet, that's the best thing ever. Doom with the gauntlet is the best thing in all of Marvel, at least like in my mind. When Doom took on like those space powers and stuff, I don't know, I'm not such a comic nerd, so I don't know all the details, but I remember he gets like, I know Spider-Man's one of the ones that gets like the full power, and I know Dr. Doom is one of the others at some point, but so he's only getting started. Dr. Doom left Tibet and returned to his homeland. Latveria seized the throne. Now he's got a castle too. How cool is that? Then he captures Sue. Poor Sue, she's captured by Doom, proposed to by Namor. She hasn't had a very good role in this comic. I have successfully developed the most incredible invention of the ages, an actual time travel device. And I want you to go centuries into the past and obtain the legendary treasure of Blackbeard for me. That's his first plan that he enacts. Oh, I'm sorry, it looks like I'm clipping the audio, but I'm going to be the absolute master of the world. Hey, Fantastic Four, go steal Blackbeard's treasure. With Sue as Doom's prisoner. Ah, come on, Sue doesn't even get to go back in time. Oh, that's probably good. The way Sue's been treated in modern day, I couldn't imagine how she'd be treated in, like, ancient times. It's the time travel machine. We were standing on it all the time. Oh no. And this is where it gets fucking awesome. Are you ready for this? The trio find themselves centuries in the past. Gasp, it worked. Look where we are. We've got to move fast. We've only got 48 hours. Faced with the need to accomplish a seemingly impossible task in the brief time limit that Doom has given them, the three adventurers act quickly, disguised as people of that age. They use their powers to take command of a pirate ship. Yeah, that's right. This is... Don't you remember the comic book where the Fantastic Four gets sent back in time by Dr. Doom to go steal Blackbeard's treasure and they have to dress up as pirates? What? You don't remember that? It's one of my favorite stories. Back, stay back. I mean, back, stay back. It is death to defy the miraculous ones. Now that's more like it. No sooner had they done so than... That was a terrible pirate impression. That was one of the worst ones ever. No sooner have they done so than another pirate ship appears on the horizon. It's the other pirate ship. Maybe it's Blackbeard. The Thing throws himself into the new role of swashbuckler with enthusiasm, surprising his teammates. All right, you swass. That means you two. We're all in this together, get me? Aye, me matey one. Oh, I mighty one. I saw Mighty and went Maney because of pirates, I guess. With the disguised Thing leading the attack, the other ship is quickly taken over. Oh man, I'm like crying with tears because I'm laughing at Thing in a pirate outfit. That seriously makes me laugh so much. With the disguised Thing leading the attack. Yahoo, get 'em boys! Follow the black-bearded one's attack. They fight like demons. Possessed, we have no chance. Hooray for the mighty bearded one. Hooray for Blackbeard. Hail, Blackbeard, scourge of the seven seas. Blackbeard? But they're talking about the Thing. Good lord, I see it now. The Thing is Blackbeard. He came back to the past to find himself. You two can go back if you wanna. As for me, I like it here. Reed, he actually enjoys being Blackbeard, but he can't remain here in the past. Why can't I stay? The future holds nothing for me. In the 20th century, I'm nothing but a monster, a freak. But here, I'm somebody, the leader of men, a captain. I'm the one who started the legend of Blackbeard. The kids will read about me in school. Someday I ain't giving this up. Never. Don't say it, Rubberman. I know, I was a fool. I must have got carried away by being accepted as a normal man, even if it was only by a band of cutthroat pirates. I lost my dumb head for a while. The 48-hour time limit expires, and they bring back the chest. It is now that Dr. Doom tries to reveal the trio why he wanted the treasure. He had learned about it in his studies of the occult. Ooh, so here I am, bad-mouthing Dr. Doom for getting Blackbeard's treasure, but he's an occult guy, so that was me being stupid again. We promised to bring Blackbeard's treasure. Blah, 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 blah. That's a tongue twister. These little baubles are more than what they seem. They were originally the property of Merlin, the ancient magician. He gave them mystic powers, the power to make their owner invincible. Chains? What chains? Worthless chains? I've been tricked? Fool, if you think you can defeat Dr. Doom so easily, yeah, just watch me. Pow! What? It's nothing but a robot. That's right. For the first time, Fantastic Four had encountered one of Dr. Doom's virtually ubiquitous robot doubles, which Doom had used while he watched their return from elsewhere in the castle. Sue manages to escape Doom's captivity, and Doom himself flees, no longer having anything to gain in controlling the Fantastic Four. No, must all be really skinny, the Fantastic Four. Anyways, the Fantastic Four at the present moment. I've been cheated out of the magic gems of Merlin that you tried to get from stealing them from Blackbeard by sending the thing back in time for 48 hours and making the thing be the legend. That's a confusing one. This is why the butterfly effect exists. I mean, that's a confusing one. I can still plan for my conquest of Earth. And then Spider-Man. We all know Spider-Man. And Spider-Man. And then next time in the thing that I don't own, because when did this come out? Does it say? 3rd of February? Of what year? It's so old I can't see if it's 86 or 66. I really can't tell. 1985 down there. So it reprints copyright from the 40s, the 60s to 85. 85 is the most recent one. So this must be like a 90s comic book or something. But the next one would have had Professor X, Magneto, Hydra, Juggernaut, Cyclops, Thor, more Dr. Doom, and Submariner against Fantastic Four, and even more. Oh, look at that full art on the back. I even like that at the bottom. So now you know about the Submariner, the destruction of Atlantis, and Dr. Doom and his origin. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I really laughed. I completely forgot about the time travel thing. And poor Sue. Sue got to do nothing in this. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Leave any like and subscribe if you want me to read any of these other ones to you or such, or just cover comic book stuff in general. Leave any questions or suggestions in the comments below, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video.